Hey, Cancer Seeker, and all seekers tuning in. Welcome to the Existential Shift. It's spring. I felt springy. Spring makes me happy. The sun makes me happy. So this is in honor of the spring. I thought it was fitting. Anyway, sorry. I would like to dedicate this video to Monica A, Andrew D, and Moonchild M for your generous love and support and donation. I really appreciate it. And everyone else who did so as well, you're mentioned in the Scorpio reading, so if you missed it, check it out. If you want to know what it's about, then wait until the end. I'll give you the explanation at the end of the reading, or you can find it in the first comment below with all the detail. By the way, it's to the dot, to the period. Anyway, all right, let's get into this. Cancer. So, as I said, I was feeling like springy for you guys, but then as I tapped into your energy to like choose a deck and just to feel it out, suddenly I felt this like interesting darkness. Now, it's not necessarily like, okay, if to be dramatic, it felt like vampire-like dark, like something ancient and deep and esoteric and mysterious and controversial when you don't understand it, right? That which we don't understand, we fear. So when I say darkness, I don't mean evil. I'm not sensing that at all, but I am sensing, it's almost like a scorpionic energy in a way. Now, you guys are deep, deep waters, right? You're the ocean. It has vast spaces of complete darkness with creatures we can't even begin to imagine. It's an entire space on planet Earth, right, that we know so little of. And I feel like the energy that I'm tapping in is those of you out there, Cancers, that you're like that. You know, you're more than just that description of your sign. Like, it goes really deep. Some of you, it's almost like you feel like, and it has nothing to do with your age, by the way. You can be younger, you can be older, but there's something about the way you walk and the way you perceive things and the way you respond and the way you think that is I don't know if intense is the right word, maybe something similar, more fitting. Honestly, the word vampire just comes to mind. Now, I'm not saying that you are sucking blood. It's not what I'm saying. But think about the archetype of vampires, right? They can see in the night. They are immortal. So they are very wise. They carry a lot of knowledge because they've been around. They are unapologetic and very, very powerful. And they have no need to be loud about it. They are quietly unapologetic, right? It gets expressed in their actions. And that's just the energy I'm tapping into now, thinking about you guys. It's like, I think some of you have really somehow broke out of the Cancerian archetype of, yeah, you're caring, but you're not dependent. You know, like you went into the complete, like into ultra independence. Maybe some of you have been deeply injured and hurt emotionally or taken advantage of. You guys are so generous, you guys are so loving, you guys are so embracing, and often Cancerians get hurt a lot because of their sensitivity and because of their generosity, and so they develop this shell. But with you, I feel like this shell that I'm talking about isn't a wall to cover you or to protect you. It's almost like you don't need protection. It's almost like you've developed your inner flesh is soft but strong. It's something a little bit out of this world. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I'm feeling like I'm tapping into the moon at the bottom of the deck when I started shuffling. Like, there's maybe some of you are occultists, maybe some of you are healers, but again, I'm not talking about like something that scraps the surface. This is not like just the intellectual astrologer. This is more so you've been around since Venus, so you know Venus, something like that. It's oh, I don't need to read about the planets. I hang out with the planets, so I just know each other, kind of thing. So it's interesting. It's so quiet, so intense, so powerful, and so peaceful at the same time. If right now you're like an emotional wreck and you're crying, you're like, oh, I don't feel powerful. It's okay. Maybe this is to remind you of what you are in essence and what you can be, right? You're not just a wave crashing into the beach, into the shore, watering everything around you, but is hurt by the clash. You're also the depths of the ocean, where it's quiet and safe, and you rule. I love this energy for you guys. It's a wonderful side to Cancerians that I think archetype wise is older for your sign, like maybe like millennia ago. That would be the definition of Cancer people, right? Society kind of changed the signs. Like, it brought us to often the surface level of our human condition. And yet here you are, just kind of, maybe you're thinking about going off grid. For very few of you, maybe you're just thinking about using less technology or less social media, or narrow down your list of friends, or have your focus on very specific themes of study and be more, diving as opposed to swimming. Queen of Swords, and you're also not apologetic with your words. Like, you won't. Queen of Swords doesn't necessarily come into a room and starts talking or say what she has on her mind. But if someone triggers her, or if someone tries her, look at how she's sitting. She's like looking at us, like holding her sword ready. Like, she's not gonna attack first, but if you throw a fist at her, like before your fist reaches her nose, her sword reaches your neck. And it's a very samurai. Oh my god, you know what this reminds me of? I've had a reading for you guys a really long time ago, maybe like 2 years ago. Pick up the sword. Was it a spiritual samurai? Something with pick up the sword samurai. Maybe you want to watch that. It's probably not going to be on the Cancer playlist because it's really from a long time ago, and when I started organizing the videos according to playlists, it was after, and it was too much to go back. I mean, try, maybe it's there, but you can just Google in the search bar. Cancer, this could be you or someone you're dealing with. drawn to look at their eyes, their gaze, their posture. It's like it's calm, but it's also ready. Sorry, give me a second. Sorry. This might be a pick up the sword spiritual samurai part B reading. Like, it's been some time since, and maybe now it's the opportunity to be that, or to tap into that, or you're meeting someone like that. Queen of Swords have always been powerful to me and in general, but this one is now, this is the Spellcaster's Tarot, by the way, if you're curious about the... I'm also subtly drawn to the red velvet cushion of her, you know, of her chair. It's interesting because it's so cold, so wintry. Everything is white and silver, but suddenly we notice that her shoes are red, and the seat that she's in is red velvet, and like her. Okay, so her. So on one hand, to me, the obvious, it brings up the thought of blood, especially we're talking about vampires and samurai, so it's inevitable and ruthless, but also soft and passionate and loving. It's the color of the heart. And blood, it doesn't just spill. Blood also flows and is a life force within us. So this is, to me, your inner life force, that it doesn't matter how frozen everything is outside of you, how much you need to sharpen your blade. Inside, in your essence and in your heart and in your veins, you are and you will always be this loving, passionate human, right? But it's just a selective few now that get to see it, and they gotta look really, really carefully. This is someone you gotta look very carefully to see this red velvet, but once your eyes lay on it, it's like you can't unsee it. All you see is this. This is a very poetic, at times tragic oxymoron. And I'm also first time noticing her hair like being blown in the wind. So there is movement of the wind. Her energy is in tune with the elements, although she's very still and very focused. Wow. Okay. Welcome to May, by the way. What else? Cancer. Looking to fix this. Show me more for Cancer. What is this about? 5 of Wands, Page of Cups, and yet around you there's this party of dimwits that I feel like you're looking at them and they're like, no, you're looking at them and you're like, it's very you just don't understand what you're doing in this room or in this environment with these people. Like, they seem so incredible suddenly. I don't know if it's suddenly, but they seem really, to you, they seem like really unintelligent and childish, and like, it's like your sight is so clear suddenly, and then everything that isn't precise and clear looks just bizarre to you. It's like you're walking around in the street looking around at people doing, you know, what people do, and suddenly it all looks, you feel like an alien. You're like, why are they doing this? Why are they talking like that, behaving like that? And it's like you're looking up to the sky and being like, made us this way, and why am I stuck here like that? I can't unsee this. They're quarreling, or they're drinking, or they're, you know, in their soap opera of affairs and relationships and dramas, and you're just like, I can't. It's quite entertaining, Cancer. Um, there's just stuff going around you, and you don't care. Like, you used to get excited over these things. You used to get maybe annoyed, or not even annoyed, maybe concerned, or you would, you know, it will occupy your mind and your heart, and you would worry and like about resolving something, or and now you're just looking at it, it's like, I don't care. Not because you don't care, but because it seems all so trivial and not important. I don't think people are used to you being like that. Oh well. Some people around you don't know what's going on with you, and they're like kind of blindly trying to figure out what's going on with Cancer. What is Cancer up to? What are they doing? They're not responding the way they used to respond. They're not triggered the way they used to get triggered. They're not giving us, or giving me, the energy that I used to take from them. It's almost like you brush off all the energy vampires in your life by becoming a vampire, but not the kind of vampire that is a leech, just the kind of a vampire in essence that just walks this world and is like, so there's issues around you, and you just don't care. You're just like, you're at this point, you're just like, anyone else would be like losing it, and you're like, I feel like I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. Two of Cups in the reverse. There is a relationship that might encounter some conflict, struggle. Someone might be partying too much, drinking too much, or just not really in the same mindset or in the same maturity level I'm picking up. Two of Cups in the reverse. Show me more. Oh, interesting. So the High Priestess flipped somehow, and I didn't see it, and now I'm seeing it. So hello, High Priestess. And Six of Swords. This is a person of power. Again, it could be you as well, or it could be someone else, but it's like this High Priestess has some knowledge, or see this box that she's carrying? I feel like you're going to like some sort of information is going to come to you, and it's from afar. Not necessarily, I don't know if it's like geography far. It could be, but I feel like when I say far, I feel more like from a different timeline, or from a different time in history regardless. Or the High Priestess can really speak a lot about occultism and theosophies and philosophies and ancient wisdoms, and she's the bearer of truth, right? She's the keeper of secrets. And especially in this beautiful deck, we have Perdua here, which is the rune of mystery and magic and music and divinity and occultism. The new moon here. So something with, there's new moon in Taurus around the 9th or the 10th of May. This is a journey. This could be a journey that you're taking with studying any of these things or learning more or opening up to the world. It's like tapping into this energy that I've expressed until now kind of gets you to a place where you're not interested in these trivial things, and you're kind of more drawn into either studying more or learning more about other worlds or things that you now in energy resonate more with, right? If you're resonating more with the surface level waves, now you resonate more with the depths, and okay, so that means changing your mindset or changing focus or changing environment. Wow, we're 20 minutes in. Okay. Another two of swords. There's a fight here. There's a fight. There's a lot of hints and insinuation to a battle. Now, since I doubt it if you actually have a sword and you're going out to the field to fight for it, I get it's not likely that that's the case. But it could be either symbolic, or you might be involved in some sort of conflict or drama that you're very, very cool, calm, and collected about it. There's something very cold and calculated, not bad, not evil. I mean, some ignorant people might consider it as such, because people who don't have inner power, sometimes they look at power and they immediately assume ill intent to it because they can't grasp good power. It's not something within their, it's not something they can contain. So you see on her chest there's the yin and yang symbol, right? This is a spiritual battle, but it's not in the realms of other dimensions. It's in this dimension. It's an actual conflict of some sort that you are you're hiding your swords. There's a plan. There's timing, there's evolution to it, an order to this. You're using your mind and your instincts. The wolf here behind her. This is some cold-ass, calculated, intuitive warfare. It's like ambush like of energy. It's very, very, it's like very strategic. Mars is in your sign now. Mars is in Cancer. Cancer, May, show me. Four of Swords. You're waiting. This is a waiting game. What is this waiting game? Cancer, what are you planning? What are you plotting? Okay. Oh, I'm absolutely on your side. This could be something to do with your environment or a group of some sort, a group of people. Maybe it's your job, maybe it's your school. But I feel like there's more than just two people involved. Like, it's not just you versus someone. It could be you versus a group, and you're so cold and calculated. So this must be something meaningful for you, or serious, that takes you so much from the water element that you are to the air element in you. And when a water sign goes into the air element, that turns into ice, right? That's why water signs can sometimes do, silent treatments or go super cold, because when they go into the mind, or they are so hurt that they're just in the mind, just in the planning, it gets icy cold. Ace of Cups. Oh, this is all under your control, isn't it? You are not controlled by this. You are leading this emotionally. Like, this ice is going to melt into water and flow. You have faith in what you do. This is something that comes from the heart. This is something that comes from the spirit. Notice the three moon goddess symbol here, over here above the high priestess's head in her crown, and over here. This is the truth of your mind. The actions, it comes across, it plays out with this ice cold sword, but it comes from a very in-tuned place, it's of love and of abundance, and you're sorting it out, and you're cleaning your environment. You're just like, you're gonna win. Whatever this is, like, it's almost like people are now, whatever this is, people are now thinking that you're possibly at a loss, or maybe crying in your room, sad. No, you just went. You just went silent, very, very silent to plan, or you're about to. Come back to this reading in a week or two from now if you don't resonate with this. Seriously. Bottom of the deck, Six of Wands. There's definitely a victory here. Ooh, I'm taking it right because it's right underneath the Five of Wands. See? These dumbasses people are like quarreling about whatever, and then you come and you lead it and you win it. There's something that you're climbing this mountain super quietly, in the dark. You're being secretive. And around the mountain, there's a lot of other climbers, and they're being super loud about it, and they post on Facebook about it, and they talk about it, and they're just being human like that. And just tapping into your energy, how you feel it. And they don't recognize that they're running around in circles, and they can't see you around, so they're assuming you're not a competition, or that you're not there anymore, or that you're not climbing this mountain, because they can't see you, because they're climbing, broad daylight in groups or whatever, and you're like this warm-blooded vampire with this ice-cold sword climbing in the darkness on the Everest. And you're going to reach the top, and you're going to sit there, and some people will maybe arrive, and they're going to see that you're already there. And they're going to be like, Cancer, how'd you get there? How'd you do it? Wait, what? What happened? Well, we thought you were dead. We thought you were crying. We thought you lost. We thought, and you're like, oh yes, bitches, you thought. And you're already number one. You already won. you don't even bother on like doing anything about it. You're just there. It's just obvious. Cancer, there's a lot of power in this reading. It's somewhat chilling, but really, really cool. I would like to have someone do a movie about this story of yours. Nice. Okay. All right. We'll take the first 3. Okay, we'll take the first 4. King of Wands, 10 of Cups, Empress, and 7 of Pentacles. You have been nourishing and working on something slow, steady, patient that is now going to bear incredible amount of fruit. Like you're going from literally from 7 of Pentacles to the Empress. Like it's almost like the studious intern that just works diligently, quietly, and boom, they're being offered to be the CEO or partnership. I don't know. Because they did things quietly and they've changed things and they've improved things and they did make a big deal out of it. But the boss man or the boss woman, sorry, or whoever is leading this community or situation or family or whatever, taking notes. And this is a good place to be to end this reading. This is amazing. We have Ace of Cups, 6 of Wands, King of Wands, 10 of Cups, the Empress, 7 of Pentacles. This will all be very, very worth it. Whatever it is you're planning, it seems like it's going to work out. Just keep doing what you're doing, Cancer. I'm just reflecting to you right now. I don't feel like you even need my advice. I feel like you just, maybe it's fun to hear and to receive recognition. Okay, let's I want to show you your extended that will focus on your love life. There is 2 of Cups in the reverse, so although this reading is a badass, there's still, when it comes to love and relationship, a little iffy, but we do have 10 of Cups and King of Wands and Empress and Ace of Cups, so there might be somehow love involved in this somehow also towards the second half of the month or ish. We'll see. So let's shuffle and focus on asking for messages for you and your person of interest. Then I'll open just the beginning of the spread and I'll talk a little bit, and then if you vibe with it, great, you can continue with me. The link is below. Before we do so though, I want to talk to you for just a second in regards to what we started this reading with. So I need to undergo some medical tests to receive diagnosis. I'm paying out of pocket. It's a lot for me. So a lot of you have already chipped in and helped. Those of you, thank you so much. Those of you who couldn't but sent good vibes and good words, I love you. I feel you. Thank you. We have reached, as I'm filming this, we've reached 2/3 of the goal. So it's super specified below in the first comment that I will pin. So you can see what we have left, and I keep updating it. So every time someone donates, I updated how much we have left, etc. So if you can support, in what way you can support, no sum is too small because it adds up. Then thank you so much, and I will obviously dedicate the next video to those of you who will. And yeah, that's basically sums it up. And thank you. Thank you for those of you who gave, and thank you for those of you who will give, and thank you for those of you who send good vibes, and to those of you who don't and have an issue and are being bitchy. Honestly, I could not care less. Because you have your issues to deal with, and I'm not letting you in. Not one bit. Cheers. All right. Okay. So back to you, Cancers. My Cancer seekers, please. I welcome the warm-blooded vampires with the ice-cold swords. This is so cool. This is how I'm going to name this reading. because you're so badass and wise and cool and powerful. But the cruel, snappy, bitchy, issuey, need therapy ASAP, not with me. I mean, I would help you a lot, but I don't want to now. Those I don't welcome. Not at all. It's very free, guys, you know, everyone who's watching. You gotta be able to have a conviction, you know, if you understand your situation, if you know the truth, you can't get overwhelmed or excited, because the more you do, the more controversial you'll become, especially if you're honest and truthful and sincere. Like, it's inevitable. Okay, doing big things and being honest along the way, and authentic, and not hypocrite, and not ass licking, and not all that, it will make you controversial, and not everyone will like you. It's inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable. The only way for you to be liked by everyone is to be a complete sacrificial lamb and have this martyrism complex that I do not support and do not teach. I think it's a very abusive aspect of so-called spirituality. I think it's a manipulation of weak people who want power. You know, they abuse beautiful spiritual notions to shame others. You cannot get yourself overwhelmed by this, by that, by those. Just focus on what you do. Focus on your Everest. I am very proud of you, and I am rooting for you, and I am cheering for you. And if I like what you do, I'm going to tell you. And if I don't like what you do, your life is your life. And unless you ask for my opinion, it's none of my business. Okay? You know best what goes on, and no one can be the judge, especially if they have no F clue. Right? So just own it up. Seriously, just you're a glorious beast. And some will admire you, and some will have an issue. Let them deal with their own, you know, image reflecting back at them. It is what you do, right? A lot of you, you know, serve as a mirror to people, and they respond to themselves. You know, they project it onto you, but they respond to themselves. And you gotta let it just, you know, like oil and water, just slide off. And I think you already know that, because that's the power that I've felt when I tapped into your energy. It was like a really good hot chocolate cake with ice cream, vanilla ice cream on the side, preferably vegan, because we love cats. Anyway, yeah. Love for Cancers for the month of May. Yes, it can be different placements. Yes, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars. Yes, 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 yes. If you jive, you jive. If you don't, you don't. Love for Cancer and their person of interest. Show me for the month of May, please. This is double pentagram spread. Put it in. Great. All right. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Just going to. Now, this is you, this is them. But if it sounds like the opposite, if this sounds like you and this sounds like them, you may reverse the roles, of course. But of course, we will also do runes. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. Squeaky chair. Alright, so mind, heart, actions towards one another, where you feel you stand, influences outside your dynamic, past, present, future potential. Ooh, look at you coming in with the Tower. Oh, you are breaking shit down, Cancer. And your person has the King of Wands. Okay. So you're at a no fucks given type of energy. You're like just saying it like it is. You're just expressing what you have to express, saying what you have to say, doing what you feel like you need to do. You're being super direct, non-apologetic. You're aware that it might cause drama or might cause friction. Your person is trying to remain poised and in control and possibly comforting and accepting or listening or mature, but still while maintaining their poise. King of Wands is a warm, loving energy, but he's also a badass. He doesn't let people mess with him or, you know, take him off track. So if this is a good place for him to be, her, right? But I'm saying because it's a king that came out. If this is a good place for him to be, he'll be there. He'll go all in. But if he feels like the place or whatever situation, relationship, job takes away from his passion, from his truth, from his, notice he's also sitting on a red velvet chair. Interesting. Okay. So similar to the Queen of Swords energy that we tapped into, only from the fire element. King of Wands knows what she knows what they want. And you hear there's some drama going on in your head, / in your communication, or you're going through something like that Tower moment and you're telling them about it, something like this. Okay, but you are breaking down some systems right now, Cancer, and it really aligns with your reading. And it seems like it's, we did also have the King of Wands in the general reading. So I feel like something is playing out with what we saw into this dynamic, or vice versa. Okay, let's see what the runes are. Now, as we unfold, as we open more cards, other things will come up, obviously, and we'll see what actually happens. So, message for Cancers for love for the month of May. Cancer's love life for the month of May, please, from the runes. Sorry, something popped up on the screen. Okay. Love for Cancer for May. Whoa, okay. Perdre. Not in the upright, not in the reverse, but kind of facing up. Lagas in the reverse. And Wheel, the empty room. Okay, we will talk about all this. This is intense. We will talk about this right now in the extended. I will see you. Check out Patreon, but you can still have it on Vimeo. Everything is in the description box when it comes to services and fun stuff and tarot masterclass, etc. I will choose from the major arcana that we had in the reading. I will choose your spiritual homework for May. I will also link it below in the description box. And once again, for those of you who helped me with my situation, I really, really appreciate it. We don't have a lot left, but it's super helpful. So thank you. That would be in the first comment, the comment section under the video. I'll see you in a second, guys. I love you. Bye.